Welcome to Baugan Inglés 4.0, the radio show with Kyle Miller. Following class by class, step by step, the material of Baugan Inglés 4.0 on Aprende Inglés TV. Class 159. Let's go! Beginner. Hello, friends, and welcome to class number 159. Today, getting started with a review of yesterday's material. Yesterday, we were talking about adjectives. Beautiful. Ugly. I like beautiful cities, but I don't like ugly ones. Short and long. I have a short pencil here, but I don't have a long one. I made a short phone call last night, but I didn't make a long one. I like hard mattresses. I like to sleep on hard mattresses. So the colchón on the bed, the mattress. I like hard mattresses. I don't like soft ones. I like hard mattresses. My brother is funny. He's funny. He isn't serious. He isn't serious. Learning English is interesting. It isn't boring. No, it isn't boring. It's interesting. A Rolex is expensive. So you can say, a Rolex is expensive. It isn't cheap. Yes, it isn't cheap. Barato, cheap. Bill Gates is rich. He sure is. He's rich. He isn't poor. He isn't poor. He isn't a poor man. No. I have a long lunch on Sundays. Do you? Do you have a long lunch on Sundays? I have a long lunch on Sundays. I don't have a short lunch on Sundays. I have a long lunch. There's a very thin book on the table. There's only one book on the table, and it's very thin. So there isn't a thick book. Thin and thick. Thin and thick. There isn't a thick book on the table. There's a thin book on the table, but there isn't a thick book on the table. I have a very cheap telephone. My mobile phone is very cheap. It isn't expensive. It isn't expensive. We encountered a difficult problem. It wasn't a simple problem. No, it was difficult. It was complicated. We could also say it was complicated or difficult. Some things, though, are difficult but not complicated. For example, usually mathematics is complicated. We say, the numbers, trying to make the calculations, figure things out. Sometimes it's very complicated, and it's difficult. Mathematics can be complicated and difficult. But for example, running, for me to run 100 meters in 10 seconds is very difficult. I can't do it because I'm not a good enough athlete. I'm not a superb athlete like Carl Lewis. So I can't do it. I can't run 100 meters in 10 seconds. It's too difficult. Is it complicated? No, it's running. It's very basic. It's a very primitive activity, running. Just running. It's not complicated, but it's difficult. It's too difficult for me to do. It's so difficult that I can't do it. But it's not complicated. Running? No, running isn't complicated at all. All right, let's move on now and talk about our translation list. Translation. All right, friends, it is time for translation list number 57, a review of yesterday's translation list. So this shouldn't be too much trouble, right? Reviewing. We've seen it already. Number 1. ¿A dónde vas los sábados? Where do you go on Saturdays? Where do you go on Saturdays? Number 2. ¿Sabe ella ¿Dónde estás? Does she know where you are? Does she know where you are? Number 3. ¿Tiene ella tu dirección? Does she have your address? Does she have your address? Number 4. ¿Ella te quiere? Does she love you? Does she love you? Number 5. ¿Cocina bien? ¿Cocina bien? Does she cook well? Does she cook well? Number 6. ¿Dónde vive? Lots of questions about her. So out loud, en voz alta, where does she live? Where does she live? Live. Where does she live? Number 7. ¿Por qué te llama tan tarde? Why does she call you so late? Why does she call you so late? Number 8. ¿Por qué te habla en inglés? ¿Por qué te habla en inglés? Why does she speak to you in English? Why does she speak to you in English? Number 9. ¿Dónde pasa los fines de semana? Where does she spend her weekends? Now, it says here, ¿Dónde pasa los fines de semana? Where does she spend the weekends, you could say. But it's her choice how she spends them. And we very often say, where does she spend her weekends? Where do you spend your weekends? Where do they spend their weekends? I spend my weekends usually in Madrid. Sometimes I spend my weekends out of town, but I usually spend my weekends here in Madrid. Yes. Number 10. ¿Sabe ella quién soy? Does she know who I am? Does she know who I am? Number 11. ¿Sabe dónde vivo? Does she know where I live? ¿Sabe dónde vivo? Yo, donde yo vivo. Does she know where I live? And finally, number 12. ¿Cuántos años tiene ella? How old is she? Okay? We don't say how many years. No. How old? How old is she? How old are you? How old are they? How old is he? How old is she? ¿Cuántos años tiene ella? How old is she? Very good. All right, I hope you did well on this review of yesterday's translation list. I think you did. Good job. All right, we saw this translation list yesterday on the television, and we're reviewing it on the television today as well, and here on the radio, as always, following the content on the same day. One thing we do not see on the television that we have here exclusively on the radio is our word of the day. Word of the day. Yes, the word of the day. That's right. Exclusive to you radio fans and radio listeners. Our word of the day today is raramente. Raramente. We say seldom. Seldom. I seldom eat clams. Almejas, clams. I seldom eat clams. I don't eat clams very often. I seldom, raramente. This is a frequency adverb. Seldom. I seldom eat clams. I seldom go to France. I seldom eat clams. I seldom speak French. Yes. I speak French sometimes, but it is seldom. I speak it very seldom, raramente. All right. As we move on now into class number 159, we see two very important verbs. Very important. I'm talking about the verb to eat, comer, and the verb to drink, beber. To eat and drink. To eat and drink. Every day I eat. Yesterday I ate. Ayer comí. Yesterday I ate. Yesterday I ate pasta. Every day I drink. Yesterday I drank. Yesterday I drank. Yesterday I drank 2 cups of coffee. Every day I drink about 2 cups of coffee. Yesterday I drank 2 cups of coffee. Every day I drink 3 glasses of water. Yesterday I drank 4 glasses of water. Every week I eat pasta maybe 3 times. Every week, on average. Last week I ate pasta 4 times. I'm trying to eat more eggs. I'm trying to eat more eggs to get a bit more protein. Every day I try to eat an egg. Yesterday I ate 2 eggs. Did you eat any eggs yesterday? Did you? Did you eat any eggs? Did you drink any milk? Yes, Kyle, I drank some milk. I ate an egg and I drank some milk. No, I didn't eat any eggs, or I didn't eat an egg, and I didn't drink any milk. All right? So to eat and to drink. To eat and to drink. Every day I eat, yesterday I ate. Every day he eats. Yesterday he ate. I have a friend who eats, he eats a peanut butter sandwich. This is the typical, very American, peanut butter. Mantequilla de cacahuete. This peanut butter. You can buy it here in Spain. In El Corte Inglés, I believe. Peanut butter. I have it at home. I eat it sometimes. Peanut butter. I have a friend who eats a peanut butter sandwich for lunch every day. It's true. It's true. He eats it every day. I didn't ask him, but I'm sure that he ate one yesterday. Every day he eats a peanut butter sandwich. Yesterday he ate a peanut butter sandwich. Every day I eat 1 egg. Yesterday I ate 1 egg. Every morning I drink a cup of coffee. Yesterday morning I drank a cup of coffee. And my brother drinks coffee every morning. Yesterday he drank coffee. He drank coffee yesterday morning as well. Okay, eat and drink, 2 very important verbs. Let's move on now to our vocabulary of the day. Vocabulary of the day. Yes, friends, it is time for the vocabulary of the day. Our first word, in fact, we have 4 verbs and 1 noun. The first is a verb, alcanzar. Alcanzar, which is the verb to reach. To reach. Yes, we can reach our destination. We can reach our goal as well. Nuestro objetivo, our goal or objective. Servir. The verb to serve. With food and drinks, we have to serve them to our guests. I serve myself when I'm at home. Nobody serves me. Using the word of the day, I seldom, raramente, I seldom have someone serve me lunch. Well, only when I go to restaurants. When I go to a restaurant, the waiter serves me. Yes, but I seldom get served lunch at home. Estar de pie. This is the verb to stand. To stand. Every day I stand. Yesterday I stood. Enseñar. This is to teach. To teach. I teach English. I don't teach Spanish. I teach English. I don't teach French. I don't teach German. I teach English. Last year I taught English. I taught English last year, and I taught English the year before that. Desastre. Oof, desastre. This is disaster. 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 All right, now, as we move into the last point, we have one more thing to talk about, which is to spend money, gastar dinero, to spend money on things. So we never say spend money in. No. Spend money on. Spend money on, spend money on, spend money on. Pete gasta mucho dinero en esquiar. Pete spends a lot of money on skiing. Sally gasta dinero en flores, pero no gasta dinero en plantas. Sally spends money on flowers, but she doesn't spend money on plants. Ian y Sue gastan mucho dinero en periódicos, pero no gastan dinero en revistas. En voz alta, ¿cómo es? Ian and Sue spend a lot of money on newspapers, but they don't spend money on magazines. They spend a lot of money on newspapers, but they don't spend money on magazines. Yes. I like to go to restaurants. I spend money on meals in restaurants. I spend money on meals in Mexican restaurants and Chinese restaurants, but I don't spend money on meals in Peruvian. I've never gone to a Peruvian restaurant. I don't spend money on meals in Peruvian restaurants, although I would like to. It sounds good. But I do spend money. I spend money on meals in Mexican restaurants, Italian restaurants, Thai restaurants. I don't spend money on meals in Nigerian restaurants, although it could be good as well. How much money do you spend on CDs? Do you spend money on CDs? Not much. A bit. I spend some money on CDs, but not very much. I don't spend very much money on CDs. I don't spend very much money on electronics either. I spend money on bus passes, but I don't spend much money on taxis. All right. We're out of time. I have spent all my time on today's lesson, so I would like to end now, but I'll be back in a few minutes with the intermediate portion and back with more at the beginner level tomorrow, same time, same place with class number 160. I hope you'll join me. Bye-bye.